This is probably my favorite format of cubing because I basically dropped a second off of my average throughout the seasons of Monkey League. Like that's where I really found my speed. It makes all of us start the timer the exact same way. It is making all of us a little bit slower, but because all of us are a little slower, it's fair. You would definitely have to reset everything because it makes a big difference, I think. But if they were to reset it, it would be a great option. But
it is probably a fairer way of doing it, but that fairness of future results could be viewed as unfair on past results. Hey. Hello, Matty Hiroto Anaba. How are you?
Hello.
Welcome along.
I'm pretty good. I just got done practicing a little cubing and I'm ready to talk about some stuff.
Nice. You're back in Hawaii now, hey?
Yep. Just came back yesterday.
Very cool. Did I see you out on the golf course on Instagram, like immediately off the plane and back on the golf course?
Yep, that's my routine. I got to get back on the course as soon as possible.
Fair enough. Okay, cool. Listen, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. There was some criticism from some viewers about some elements of PSL, blah, blah, blah. That's all happening. But what I'm really interested in is your experience of the PSL as one of the top competitors, as one of the athletes there as well. I really want to hear about how that went. We'll get around to talking about the GAN 15 Black as well at some point. But yeah, I guess let's just start with how you're feeling about your performance at PSL. How are you feeling now you've had a chance to digest? How are you feeling about your matches and everything that happened?
I thought I did pretty good. Like my speed, my averages were probably as fast as I've ever been, and it's not as fast as at home, but it's probably the closest I've been in a while to being like at my at-home speed. And going against Timon, I put up a good fight. But I've been going into deciding solves with Timon since 2021, so
yeah,
it's like it was a very familiar environment for me. And I got a lot of fours and I got 2 threes, which I'm pretty happy with.
Yes. Now, one of those threes in particular, I'm actually quite excited to talk to you about, okay? Because you landed a 3.9 that could have been a 3.4. All right. Now, four pad mode was used at PSL. For anyone who didn't see it, they were using 4-pad mode on the timers. Organizers of PSL events have the ability to choose whether they're going to use 2 or 4-pad. The first event was a 4-pad. Where are you sitting? I don't know what your opinions are on 4-pad in general. That's by the by. But how are you feeling? Are you feeling like 4-pad kind of did you dirty there?
A little bit, but it actually obviously I'm a little slower with 4-pad, but it helps me start the solve better because sometimes my bad habit is when I start the timer with 2-pad, my hands kind of are inconsistently placed. But when you're doing 4-pad, your hands always go back to the same position, so that kind of helps establish like a square position right when you start.
Yeah.
So then when you pick up the cube, it's always in the same position, which actually helped me do a little better. But then, the stops, I had a bad habit of my left thumb. I just couldn't get it far down enough to hit the pad, and that happened on a few solves there. But the 3 was probably the worst out of all of them because I had to literally double stop.
Yeah, it was tough. It was like a full half second.
Yeah.
But so overall, your experience at 4-pad. Like, how are you? Are we hating it? Would you have preferred it to be 2-pad, or are you enjoying that advantage it gives you with this sort of really hard hand reset at the start there?
I think it's good actually. Like it makes all of us start the timer the exact same way, but it is making all of us a little bit slower. But because all of us are a little slower, it's fair, so it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, right. Can you see it being something that's implemented at WCA level? Do you think it's is it viable without having a records reset, or do you think it would cause too much trouble?
You would definitely have to reset everything because it makes a big difference, I think.
Okay.
Because, yeah, but if they were to reset it, it would be a great option. But obviously, no one wants to have 20 years of data just wiped.
Yeah, that's the tough call, really, isn't it? It's just it is probably a fairer way of doing it, but that fairness of future results kind of could be viewed as unfair on past results, hey?
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
So I'm glad I'm not in that position that I have to make make that decision. So listen, the
Hmm.
you've kind of alluded to it already, but the format at PSL, you're kind of used to that already, hey? Because you're like, how many seasons of Monkey League did you do? Like plenty,
A
hey?
lot. Yeah.
So
I mean, Monkey League is, yeah, go on.
no, you carry on.
Oh yeah, I was just about to say like, yeah, this is probably my favorite format of cubing because I basically dropped a second off of my average throughout the seasons of Monkey League. Like that's where I really found my speed. So like going back to that format, it actually felt so good because that's where I really like learned how to solve fast, I guess.
That's so
Yeah.
interesting. That's so interesting. And is that just because of the pressure that's on you from the other player?
Yeah, definitely because this was actually very different because in Monkey League, I was one of the only ones who didn't like look at the times and safety. I just went by my own. But when you have to in PSL, you're forced to hear the time.
Yeah.
Like no matter how hard you try and plug your ears, you're gonna hear it. So it was a very different experience for me because I've never done that before. I've never had to hear the time. And it is a little bit distracting, but by the end I feel like I got a hang of it.
Well, that's a good segue into sort of the environment, I suppose. Like you say, you're forced to hear
Mhm.
things. You're forced
Yeah.
to endure certain things. What was it
Mhm.
like? What was it like as a what was it like essentially doing Monkey League live? Like, what were the challenges for you as a top level solver? What did you find particularly difficult in that environment?
Mhm. Um, I didn't really have any big difficulties other than like um just the stream and the a lot of cameras and lights on you. It's a little bit intimidating at times, but
Yeah.
I've gotten used to it over the years, so it's not a big deal. I actually thought it was I'm gonna go into a positive. I thought was that when we were solving, like you physically had to leave the table, go to another table, and then come back and do that for every single solve. That had a good like it helped me reset really good like after each solve so that when I go to the table, it's like I forget the past solve even happened and I'm just focusing on this. So that was good.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, there's been a lot of people have been kind of going, oh, simultaneous solves would be good. Like similar to kind of how Red Bull was done when two people solve at the same time. I've been thinking about that a lot as a viewer of it. And I'm like, yeah, I
Mhm.
can see that actually, but something that came out of it, and I'm gonna talk to him later on stream, which is gonna be cool. But like, what's the meme that's come out of it is like full on demonic Timon sitting in the shadows, waiting for
Yeah.
you to solve so that he can come and clap back at that.
Mhm.
Yeah, but you're saying you like that single station. It's like you're stepping up to the plate. Like you play baseball or
Mhm.
softball or
Mhm.
something, don't you?
Yes, I played baseball and it's yeah, it's very similar now that you say that. And yeah, because sometimes I have a hard time with like just getting affected by my past solves. But this like I've been getting better at it, but even more so here, like it really helps me. Like if you asked me like what was my last solve before I did that solve, I couldn't tell you because I literally like forget it. Because you go back to the dark dark corner and you're just like looking at nothing. It's kind of funny, like you just forget.
Yes, of course. Yeah, and because I guess that's a big. I never thought of that actually from a competitor point of view. You're when you're doing an average of 5, when you're in a WCA comp, it's all about. Well, I don't know how this works for you. Are you able to let the last solve go in an average if you know you're on for something really good, or does it hang around in your mind?
I would say, I would say, 2 years ago, I got really affected by it. But nowadays, I've been doing deliberate training to just stay in the present. So now I'm pretty good. But yeah, definitely, still trying to improve that.
Yeah, that's really fascinating. It's like you've been genuinely trained by Monkey League. Like Monkey League has changed how you
Yeah,
solve. Like
pretty much. Yeah.
in terms of speed and in the mental mindset kind of side as well. That's crazy. That's really cool.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay, so yeah, the so an enjoyable experience overall for you then. It's I'm sounding like it's pretty overall positive.
definitely. It was probably one of the most fun I've had at a comp since SSL, I
Right.
think.
Well, yeah, go on then.
It
Yeah,
because
I never spoke
yeah.
to you about SSL.
Oh
Tell us
yeah,
about
sure.
that.
Um, yeah, it was just pretty crazy because it was super like the scale was so large. Like there was a lot of people in the audience, a lot of cameras, and like an insane set that they built.
The set was
So it was just
wild.
yeah, it was pretty amazing just being in that environment and coming out losing to Tuan in the first round and then getting to top four was
Yeah,
very
that's cool.
rewarding to me
That's
because yeah.
that's that double bracket working to deliver that
Mhm.
drama. Hey.
That was one of the most like after I lost to Tuan, I just remember walking back to the waiting area. I'm like, oh my God, what did I just do? Like, how did I just lose that? And now I went all the way to China. I might not be able to compete in the second day. Like that was probably one of the most panicked feelings I've ever felt in my life. Like, what just happened? Like that was, and that was also probably the most focused I've ever been to on the next match, and that's why I won. So it's like a positive and negative.
I suppose, yeah, because you'd been flown out there by Gan and then
Yeah,
knocked out first round, Gan Guru, by a non Gan
yeah.
Guru. It's not a good look, is it?
Uh, it wasn't a good look for me, but he definitely earned that win. So I was like,
Yeah,
all
hell
right,
yeah.
he, I did bad, he did good. Now I just gotta lock in.
Yeah, right. Oh, awesome. No, as a spectator, I had a great time
Mm.
watching it. I'm looking forward to San Diego this weekend, which you're not going to be in because you're very much in Hawaii.
Sadly, no.
Yeah.
No, but I'm actually gonna be at a WCA competition
Okay.
just so I can, because I'm probably not gonna be. Yeah, that's probably gonna be my only competition for like probably a month or 2 months. So just gotta stay sharp going into the summer. Like I don't want to have like a 3 month gap or 4 month gap in my comps. Just have like one here so that I can just make sure I'm not completely lost in during the summer tournaments.
Yeah, right, for sure. And I assume you're going to Worlds.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, you got to keep those chops up, keep those numbers up. So, is there
Yeah.
another PSL that you think you're in, or do we know? Because I remember.
I'm not in any yet, but like if there's like a grand final event or kind of like a championship like a tour championship, then I would definitely I want to go to that. But it all depends on my schedule and stuff.
Yeah, of course.
But I'll
Because
I'll definitely try and open stuff for that tournament.
yeah, hell yeah, no, that would be great. I'm excited to see what they do with the grand final, and how
Mm.
that works, and all that kind of stuff.